So does a model caboose need sound? Well, let's take a look and have a listen. Hi, I'm Dan Cortopassi, and today I'm reviewing an HO scale Union Pacific CA-10 caboose from Athearn Genesis. My model is decorated for Union Pacific and represents a CA-10 class car. Athearn offers these cars in two versions, one with DCC controllable lights and one with DCC controllable lights and sound. The MSRP for the car with lights only is $109.98. The MSRP for the car that also has sound is $149.98. I paid $129.95 for my sound-equipped car at the Train Shop in Santa Clara, California. We'll start the model at 100 possible points. Each car comes in a cardboard box with a hinged lid concealing a clear plastic window. Inside is a sheet of paper with exploded view drawings and information on operating both the sound and non-sound cars. A plastic cradle protects the model. A set of spare end caps for the axles is included. This is a good box that should protect the model for storage and transport. I found a lot of information on UP cabooses on Don Strack's Utah Rails website. If you're a UP modeler and you haven't already found it, the website has tons of information on Union Pacific. Union Pacific's CA-10 cabooses were built in 1975 by International Car in Kenton, Ohio. There were a total of 50 cars in this class, numbered from 25700 to 25749. These were steel cabooses similar in overall appearance to previous UP steel cupola caboose classes. The CA-10 cars rode on Buckeye outside swing hanger roller-bearing trucks, which gave crews a smooth ride. All 50 CA-10 cars were equipped for system-wide pool service, which is what the P on the cupola stood for. These cars could operate anywhere on the UP system on run-through trains as well as on connecting railroads like Southern Pacific, Chicago Northwestern, Burlington Northern, and Rock Island. These cars and many other UP cabooses were equipped with red and green marker lights. According to the Utah Rails website, the rear-facing marker was supposed to be on at all times. Most of the time the red light would be used. The green light would be used when the train was in the clear on a passing siding on unsignaled stretches of main line. This would let other trains running in the same direction know that it was safe to overtake the stopped train. The marker lights on the model are functional. Replicating these practices on a model railroad could add another dimension to an operating session. I compared the model to photos of the real 25747 as well as other CA-10 cabooses, and the model appears to be a very close match. The roster information available on the Utah Rails site says that UP 25747 was retired in late 1988 and donated to the American Society of Germans from Russia in Lincoln, Nebraska. I found a photo of the car on static display in Lincoln, Nebraska dated 2001. It looks like the car may have been repainted by that time as it had no banner on the side and no pool service markings. There's a photo of this caboose on the back of a train dated 2009 on the rrpicturearchives.net website. However, knowing the history of the car, I am fairly certain that this date is incorrect. In that photo, the car has the great big rolling railroad banner on the side instead of the Keep on Truckin' by Train as on the model. I don't know how often UP changed the slogans on the sides of the cabooses, and the photo date is questionable. I think this is inconclusive, so I'm giving the car the benefit of the doubt. I looked up the American Society of Germans from Russia and checked out their building in Lincoln, Nebraska using Google Street View. I didn't see a caboose anywhere, so I'm not sure if it's not there anymore or if I'm looking in the wrong place. If anyone knows more about where the caboose is now, please let me know in the comments. Based on my research, this car is most appropriate from 1975 through the late 1980s. The paint on the car is opaque and the markings are crisp and free of voids. Small stencils are legible with magnification. The car has freestanding grab irons throughout. The window glazing is clear and nearly flush. On the ends, the car has uncoupling levers, air hoses, and nicely done brake wheels. The steps and end platforms are see-through. On top, the model has a detailed smokestack and a firecracker-style radio antenna. The cupola windows have bars on the inside, and the cupola itself has working marker lights in a detailed casting. The cupola side windows open part way. Similar to many openable windows on locomotive cabs, they tend to move around on their own. Underneath, the car has very nicely done brake system detail. The wheels are metal with the standard RP25 tread profile. The trucks have rotating end caps. All the wheels pick up current from the rails for the onboard lighting and sound. The car has plastic McHenry couplers on both ends. Looking for a match on the horizontal center line, the coupler on the generator end is high, so I'm taking 5 points. The coupler on the other end is also high. All the wheels are in gauge according to the NMRA standards gauge. There is no significant body wobble. The car weighs 3.7 ounces, just slightly over the 3.5 ounce NMRA recommended weight for a car of this length. The caboose had no issues on Kato 550mm curves, which were equivalent to a 21 5/8 inch radius. F0 turns on the red marker lights and is directional so that only one of the lights is on at a time. Changing the direction makes the light on the opposite end come on. F3 turns on one of the green marker lights. F4 turns on the other green marker. The green marker lights are not directional and will stay lit until the key is pressed again. F5 turns on the interior light. F1 rings the bell. I'm not sure if this caboose actually had a bell, but the sound is there if you want to use it. F2 blows the air whistle. F9 turns on the generator noise. Getting into the car is very easy. Just spread the sides slightly and the bottom will come out. I don't see a separate decoder, so I'm assuming that the circuit board is both the decoder and light board. The speaker and enclosure is located near the middle of the car. The interior also has seats. There are some seats in the cupola as well. Since I prefer Cadys, I'm going to replace the stock couplers with KD158s. Unfortunately, in the process, one of the uncoupling levers fell off. It has a little tab that fits into a tiny slot on the end of the car near the step. I used some canopy glue to reattach it. The car still has the same coupler height issues after installing the new couplers. My usual method for lowering couplers is to file the truck bolsters to lower the car slightly. Because the trucks are wired on this car, it's a little more complicated. Fortunately, there's some excess wire inside the caboose. I'll carefully untwist it to create some slack. Now I'll remove the truck. I need to be very careful not to mess up the wires while filing the bolster. After a lot of trial and error, I got the coupler down to the correct height. Now I'll retwist the wires. I'd recommend working on one end of the car at a time. So I wasn't really planning to buy a sound-equipped caboose when I walked into the train shop and saw this one sitting there. I just wanted to get one of the regular Genesis cabooses with lights. But the hobby shop was out of those, and so I got this one. And one of the reasons I got it is I used to have Centralia Shop's Union Pacific caboose that I recently sold on eBay. That one didn't have any lights, and it didn't even have like the little red and green light housing on it. And I was planning to add that, but then I saw that Athearn brought these out, and I'm like, well, you know, why not just buy one of these? So I went looking for one, and so they had the sound-equipped one, and I was like, well, okay, well, what the heck, let's try one. So I think I kind of have mixed feelings about the sound. Like, I don't really know how much I'll actually use it. I can see, like, if you wanted to do backup moves, having the air whistle might be nice if you have grade crossings and things like that. Not that concerned about the generator noise, or and I'm really not sure about the bell. I don't recall most cabooses having bells, but, you know, if you want to use it, it's there. I do really like the lights on this thing. I think they're pretty neat looking. You know, I'm an SP modeler, but I do remember, you know, when I was younger, seeing Union Pacific cabooses back in the day on SP trains running through on Donner Pass. So I think I can work this one in somehow, and I'm going to enjoy using it on the layout. Let's see what we've got. The car had 2 high couplers, so I took 10 points in the standards and operation category. That leaves us with 90 out of 100 possible points, which earns an A-. This is a highly detailed and accurate model. I'm giving it a green signal. I think Athearn did a really nice job on this model. If you're looking for a Union Pacific caboose for your HO scale layout, then I think you might like it. If you like this video, then please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.